Hi, my name's Celeste LaRue. I'm the founder and CEO of Virgil, and I'm pleased to tell you that I think I'm the last presentation today for Maritime Blues Showcase. So that means you're almost ready to talk to all of us, which is going to be awesome. So I'm going to tell you today about our software that helps people who are buying or selling seafood secure their supply chain. And I want you to think about the last time you were at a supermarket. If you saw something that you liked, that sounded interesting, maybe it had a label on it, or one of many labels that exist. Or you could be like people in my family who walk around with this card that tells them what species they should and shouldn't buy. That's a lot of information. And I'm going to tell you that these are not solutions to problems, they're symptoms of a big problem that we're trying to solve in a different way. That problem is illegal fishing. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing is decimating our oceans around the world. Its estimated losses are in the hundreds of billions of dollars per year. It also undermines people who are trying to operate by the rules, and people who fish illegally have a terrible human rights record. This is why governments around the world have been trying to tackle this problem from all sides. Most recently, there's been an increasing effort to demand traceability of seafood. That is, tracking through paper documents and other kinds of records the movement of that fish from when it was harvested to the when it was consumed or imported or some other point along the supply chain, depending on the government regulations. The problem with this system is not that it exists. That's good. It's a step in the right direction. But traceability is a bunch of data. And if it's not analyzed, companies can't assess whether or not they have a risk of non-compliance. So I should know because my team and I were very much involved in setting up the US government system that requires seafood traceability for about 40% of the seafood coming into the United States. My CTO built the data architecture that the government uses. My vice president and I have traveled all over the world helping industry comply with these new regulations, so we really understand their problems. And I think that it could be solved in a much easier way. I think what people really want to know is not this. So this is what traceability actually looks like. It's tons of paper records in multiple languages, digital versions, hard copy versions that have to be scanned. It is very difficult to interpret, and if you want to hire an auditor to do that, it costs thousands of dollars a pop. What it should be is something more like this, a simple traffic light readout of risk. And that's what we're doing. We've built a system that can check that trade data against environmental, regulatory, and enforcement data sets for compliance risks. When I tell people what we've built, they usually say that sounds like magic. I didn't think that was possible. And I kind of didn't think so either until we did it. This is essentially what it looks like. You give us your traceability data that you already have to have, and we will let you know whether or not there's a risk associated with it. So in this case, everything generally looks okay except for the name of the vessel. The Yulong 2 was banned for imports to the US. So if you told us that, we'd be able to let you know, and you could save yourself a lot of heartache later down the line if you tried to bring that product in. Essentially what we're doing in whole is offering pre-sale validation. So before you buy your product or before you import it, you can assess whether or not there's going to be a problem. We can look at the species areas, global fisheries, blacklists, all of these different data sets that are housed all over the world, and in some cases we're providing to industry for the very first time ever. We have 3 different options for using our system. You can have a web interface, you can do an upload, so if you have a bunch of data together, you can send it to us, we'll get back to you. Or you can have a seamless instant integration with your current traceability provider system. I think that's a great option for most groups that have advanced traceability systems. So the bottom line is that buyers have to source legal seafood. There's increasing pressure from governments and consumers to have product-level traceability. And just tracing your product is not enough to tell you that there's a problem with compliance. And getting a certification, getting a label on your product, isn't enough to tell you that there's something wrong at the product level, because those are certifications for broader supply chains, how they generally act, not specific to the product in your hand. So efficient compliance, once companies get on board with this, it'll save them a ton of time and money down the line as these government regulations continue to increase. We are ready for beta testing, actually. I'm super excited to get that underway. So if you're a traceability provider, if you are a customs broker that is entering this data for the United States or another country, If you are a buyer or producer or harvester of seafood that knows that your buyer wants to have more data than less, we can help you. We'd love to help you. Also, if you are involved in solving this problem in another way and want to work with us, we'd love to talk to you as a strategic partner. And I hope that you will reach out to us. You can email me at info@virgilgroup.com or go to our website, virgilgroup.com/software. Thanks so much for your time. I really look forward to talking to you.